Hey everybody, welcome to this week's recap of The Mole.
The Mole.
The most boring show on TV.
It wasn't boring this week because I was actually awake.
Alright.
So, last week, Victoria was sent home / executed. And I was totally like, what? Because I was thinking maybe she's the mole, but she's not.
Everybody kind of thought she was.
So, they go to the Upsallata Train Station.
Oh, Spanish award winner there. So, yeah, this mission is called Trust.
Oh.
And they're all chained to this crappy fence that they could have all pulled over.
By their ankles.
Right.
/ to each other.
They must work as one.
Yeah, we are one.
Right. So, only one can reach the key at a time.
Yes, and they had to all stand against the fence so that there was enough chain for the person to reach.
In other words, they had to trust somebody. Because in the little cage that only opens every 10 minutes, there's
for
a
1
key
minute.
And an exemption. And if somebody takes the exemption, all the other players have to sleep outside in the cold, and it is friggin' cold.
All the other ones that are left.
Right.
Plus, no money in that pot. And the
$0.
The total money for this challenge is $25,000.
That's right. So, first, Craig plays the I'm sick and overweight card.
I'm cold.
I'm not well, guys. Please, I swear to God, just let me get the key, because I'm going to die.
So they were like, "Fuck." After a long debate.
Right.
Probably 10 minutes worth.
Yeah. Well, this whole thing took like over an hour to actually get done.
Well, it only opened every 10 minutes, and there was like 7 of them.
There is 7 of them. So then Kristen got the next chance, and she just took the key like she said she was.
And then Paul, or Play, as you wrote.
Yeah. Okay, sorry I was falling asleep.
And I'm surprised they let Paul go, because I was like a little bit iffy about him.
Yeah. Well, then Mark was like, I don't know if you can trust me.
myself.
Yeah. So guess what? You're not going next.
Clay was like, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah, so Clay bailed.
Yeah.
And then Nicole. And
Nicole was another iffy one.
Yeah.
She had this look in her eyes, Mark said, that I'm
he
cold
knew he
and
could
I want to
trust
go
her.
inside.
So then it was down to Alex and Mark. So Alex went, and then Mark was last, but they still didn't know if he was going to take the exemption.
Yeah, because nobody before him took it, so it was still on the table.
And he was pretty pissed. He thought he deserved it because they burned his diary. He's still not over that shit.
He's very upset about that. He's very paranoid.
Well, he surprised everyone and didn't take the exemption, so another $25,000 was added to the pot for a total of $177,000.
Yes.
Hey everybody, new journals!
Woo!
Yeah. So, it's time to pack it up because we're going to Mendoza, Argentina.
It's supposed to be like the Napa Valley of Argentina.
Nice. So, on the way there, Clay versus Paul.
Yeah, they were driving over there in their vans, and things
got ugly. It got real ugly.
Yeah, Clay ended up throwing Paul's lemon.
His happy lemon head.
Yeah. And that wasn't cool. So then Craig was like, I'm out of here. And then Clay also left the van.
Yeah.
Went to
van number 1. Right.
Well, they went to van
number 2. Right. So, yeah, then in this post-fight interview, Clay says, yeah, I'm pulling the Christian card here.
Well, that's not what
I have no animosity towards anyone.
And then Paul was like, whoa, you're such a good Christian. The Bible says blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, next challenge is called Travelers.
So they'll break up into teams of 2, and I was like, what? Because there's 7.
I know.
So they're going to have 45 minutes to make it to the Cerro de la Gloria statue.
It's 5.5 miles away. So
yes.
you do the math. You're going to have to average an 8-minute mile to make it in time.
At least. And each team is going to have a different type of transportation.
Right.
And they will win $30,000 if every team makes it, so that's like $10,000 each.
Well, now, since there's one extra person, the first person who said exemption at breakfast gets to be the odd man out.
Well, I think it was like for the day, but it was at breakfast.
So, Craig got that honor, of course.
Yep. So, as a result,
he gets to pick the teams.
And the type of transportation that they'll be using.
And furthermore, if none make it in time, he gets an exemption.
Yeah, so it's to his advantage to kind of pick crappy transportation modes so they won't make it.
So they're like, hello, step behind this rock and see what we have to choose from.
Yeah.
Craig picks Alex and Mark to be on the same team.
So for Alex, well, first of all, Craig is totally not being a team player. He wants that exemption.
He does.
So for Alex, he picks this conquistador outfit with all this like armor and a donkey, which he's not allowed to ride.
And Mark, he's got to wear a scuba outfit, including the fins.
Yeah, he was not pleased with that.
So team number 2 is
Clay and Kristen.
Right, and Clay is going to be riding a unicycle.
Why don't you call up Adam Carolla for that?
I know. And Kristen is going to be walking on stilts. Even though they weren't high ones, they were still stilts.
And then Nicole and Paul are the only ones left, so they get this llama costume. It's one of those 2-person ones.
Nicole is the head, and quite fittingly, Paul is the ass. That's the ass end.
Now, it's pretty much impossible for them to make it. Yeah. But I think there would have been something in the challenge, like if you made it halfway. It was I thought it was like they knock off 5,000 or something, and then you get like a car. I don't even know.
Wow. All right, so they were pretty pissed because they saved that whiner Craig from the cold.
Yeah.
And
Mark was like, I'm not even trying, so you guys shouldn't
screw this. So, you know, that led the
we're not doing
Exodus to, we quit. Yeah. We're not doing it. Get in the van,
they all drove
kids.
in the vans to the statue, and they're like, we're not doing this.
So, nobody did it. Craig got the exemption. The host seemed kind of pissed that everybody just gave up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't spank them right there over his knee. So, it's time for dinner. Mm-hmm. Are you guys missing home?
Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Paul has an interesting way of staying sane.
He has his happy Mr. Lemon.
Yeah,
who's now turning
it's
brown.
Rotten, so.
Yeah. Wow, that must smell great.
Yeah.
So it's time for the quiz.
Quiz time. The pot is at 177,000.
And Craig is the only person with an exemption. So, it's a tie again this week.
But this time, the slowest are separated by 1 second. Well, wait, I mean, the lowest scorers are separated by 1 second.
Well, okay.
They're not necessarily.
The slowest is going to be executed. And they only missed out by 1 second.
Yeah.
And that happens to be?
Kristen.
I didn't think she was the mole anyway.
Me neither. It would have been, like, weird. I don't know.
Okay, so
she always reminded me of a ninja.
I'm going to make my official prediction on who the mole is. I'm thinking it's Paul. I've got a strong feeling that it's Paul.
I'm going to go with Alex.
Okay.
Just to put it out there.
Because I know a lot of people have been asking us, and we haven't had time to answer you guys back, so we're going to put it on here.
It's so confusing, because you're like, oh, it could be this person, but then I think it could be this person.
I'm sure Paul will be going next week. But I got a vibe off of him that he's a mole. So next week, since Diana, the Bachelorette...
It's 1 hour.
Right. We've got 2 hours of the mole.
Woo! So first, recap show, and then the new episode.
Can't wait. Maybe I'll actually get into the show next week. So kids, till then, much love.